So, welcome everyone. Today we will be discussing a significant milestone in Ontario's technological advancement, the transition or the shifting to the cloud computing and the closure of 20 data centers. So, I am from Group 5 and here is the list of my group members. In the upcoming slides, we will be discussing each and everything about this topic. So I'm starting with this slide of brief introduction of the topic, which is Ontario shifting to cloud computing and the closure of 20 data centers. So basically, Ontario is shifting its IT infrastructure to the cloud computing, which means like storing data and running application over the internet. This move allows many benefits to the province like save cost, increase flexibility and the improve security. So as a result, all the traditional data centers are being closed down and the cloud computing support Ontario digital transformation goals, enable data analysis, and it also reduce environmental impacts. However, it may increase some risks like data privacy and selecting the right cloud provider and the managing the migration process. However, overall, this transition or this shifting benefits Ontario by creating a more efficient, scalable, and the sustainable IT infrastructure.
Hey there, I'm Ashu. So before moving on to the topic further, firstly we should all know what is exactly a data center. In a simple way, we can say a data center is a facility that store, process and distribute a huge volume of data for the purpose of facilitating corporate operations such as storing, processing and distribution. It gives you an access to components of physical infrastructure such as server, storage device and networking equipment. There are many different levels of control that can be or may be exercised over an organization infrastructure and data management by utilizing managed colocation or cloud services. Data center can be owned by enterprises or contracted through a third-party providers. The infrastructure of data center includes computer-based and non-computer-based physical resources such as server, router, switches, storage device, cooling system, power generator, cable and internet connectivity. Some of the other resources are computer-based while others are not. So in a simple way, data center can be taken as a facility that store, process and distribute a huge volume of data for the purpose of running in a big organization.
Hi, my name is Tulsi. To continue the presentation further for today, I will be telling you what was the state of data center when government decided to shut them down. So when people started to move with MTDC, multi-tenant data centers, and enterprises own data centers, and the big countries started to divide their workload with private data centers, the government owned data centers become useless. Within the same span of time, few of the companies started to shift with the new technology because according to 75% of participants in a survey conducted in 2014, the world needed a new energy efficiency which can be more compatible with workloads and does not need too much of manpower, which is easy to handle and don't need more physical space. All the requirements got fit in the cloud computing. On top of all, Google's investment of $7.35 billion in their private infrastructure started the downfall of government-oriented data centers. Finally, 2014 became the year when cloud computing won over data center. The organization faced so many challenges with it, but the more specific and tough one was to transfer the messaging and e-messaging system to cloud computing. Whereas few of them stayed the way they used to work with and keep on using their private data centers to manage all messaging system. But soon it became a headache for them to handle everything on an old-fashioned technology. So they used the help of Office 365 service and get relief from managing the infrastructure on their own.
Hi everyone, hope you are doing great. Myself Jatin Kalra. I will explain you slide that says the Ontario data center shutdown will save $20 million. I will tell you how. By shutting it down, we will get relief from management cost, such as the manpower needed to run it and the big maintenance costs such as money spent every year on energy resources like electric energy, as well as we can concentrate on our resources very well because clouds doesn't need too many resources, which will help us to get better contract rates. And if we see, the infrastructure needed to have the data center was too large before, but now we can also get relief from it as we will no longer need it for any reason. So now benefits of cloud computing. First of all, it will save our cost as I explained in the previous slide, and then scalability. Cloud services provide scalability by allowing you to easily scale resources up or down based on the demand. Then as a security measure, it provides more secure way to protect data than any other data center. Moreover, reliability, they implement robust backup and disaster recovery mechanism, which means backup and restore data more effectively. Last but not least, availability. Now we can access to more application easily as we shift to the cloud computing, and cloud service provider often offer service level agreements that specify guaranteed level of availability and uptime, which is more beneficial for any company that their services is like 24/7.
Hi, it's Jasveer here. Let's discuss some of the challenges faced during migrating to cloud. Firstly, security and privacy. This is major concern while migrating sensitive data to cloud. Robust security protocols, encryption method, and strict access control is vital to protect and maintain the data privacy. Data loss is another challenge faced during cloud migration. Organizations must have comprehensive backup and recovery strategies in order to reduce the risk of losing critical data. Cost management is crucial. While cloud computing can reduce costs, organizations need to monitor usage and optimize resource allocations. And as implementation of cost management strategies to avoid unexpected expenses. Compliance and legal issues are also important consideration. Organizations must comply with industry-specific regulations and ensure that their cloud service provider have necessary certification and security standards. Human error and lack of skills can cause delays and mistakes. Proper training, upskilling, and hiring skilled professionals is key to mitigate these challenges. Addressing these challenges require proper planning, collaboration with cloud service provider, and a well-defined migration strategies in order to reduce all the risks during this migration. Thanks.
So moving on to the topic of why we rejected the following topics, those where data centers are the new frontier against the climate change and the COVID-19 impacts on the data center. Well, these both topics were interesting and a good thing to talk about. We still didn't find our goals and objective while discussing through our team, so we shifted our goal and the presentation towards the shift of data center to cloud computing. So the following will be our references that we took from various sites and places.